Government is wrong. Government is wrong. I'm not. I don't know how to ask this question. Maybe someone else has
Boldly.
So
Go for it.
when this passage that we just read describes the process of embryology according to to the way that it's described in the Quran, this of how a fetus
In simplest terms,
because it doesn't give a really in-depth scientifical, it gives scientifical, I shouldn't say it doesn't, but it doesn't give a really in-depth, like, you know what I'm saying? What happens? It just gives
it describes it in a sequence, right?
the
Yeah, it's
clay
describing in
was
a
the
sequence,
clay
yes.
part of the embryology process.
Huh?
Was the clay part of that sequence?
The clay is what the Adam, the first person, was made out of. First prophet was made out of.
So clay-
Embryology didn't apply to him.
Clay isn't part of the sperm cycle. Like it's not.
No, because embryology didn't apply to the first person.
It only starts telling the embryology when it says sperm becomes clot, clot becomes lump, lump becomes bone.
Yeah, you can see the sequence of the hadith. The first hadith says clay, which was the first person, and then nafsul wahida, which is what everyone else is made of. Embryology applies to every other person besides the first person and the second person, or Eve.
If I may, just real quick thread.
Yes, doctor.
Nafs wahida means one singular breath. It's like the Jewish nafs means spirit or soul.
Yeah, and every human's made from this.
Doesn't say every human's made. Anyways, I want to ask you about something else, if the panel allows. Is that okay, Thrayle? You said you're in what the Prophet said from the people surrounding him, correct?
Yeah.
So the Sahaba, the companions, and the chains of the hadiths, and etc., correct? Just clarifying.
Correct.
You're a Sunni though.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, alhamdulillah, habib. So, I just want to make sure one thing. No one was with him in the cave when the revelations came, when Gabriel or Jibreel came, correct?
Jibreel was with him.
Yeah, he was alone with Jibreel, right?
Yeah.
So how can you confirm that that was actually Jibreel and not a hallucination?
Because you can't confirm anything because it's a what's his name? It's a statement. You have to say it, so you have to believe it. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't
also,
have
people saw a light from the cave.
Look, I'm not sure about the
What people?
Okay, I don't think that's mentioned anywhere, but okay. Moving on. So
I could bring it up, bro. You want me to bring it up?
Okay, but that's not what I'm asking, though. I'm asking how can you confirm that it's a divine sent text?
How can I confirm that the Quran was a divine sent text?
Yes, and not something that Muhammad came up with.
Because it's too complicated for an illiterate man to come up with on his own.
You know that in the Quran that says Asatir al-Awwalin, so the legends of old. The people there knew it was legends of old. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, no, but the things mentioned in the Quran are not just like the expansion of the universe, origins of life, iron.
But is that why you believe
the
it?
Universe.
Let's not get there, Thrayle. Just one second. Is that why you believe it?
Yes, because the Quran states that
So,
water was sent down. Water was sent down.
It's okay. Just give me a second.
As an asteroid before time.
Just give me a second. Give me a second. So, if that's what you believe in, if we go through every one of these and we disprove them, you still believe it?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, disprove it, bro.
No, I just need an answer for my question. If we went through it one by one and we prove it wrong, would you still disbelieve? Would you still believe it?
If it's wrong, then why would I believe it? No.
With a
But it's not
contradiction
wrong.
in the Quran. With
Huh?
a contradiction in the Quran. With a contradiction in the Quran made you question it.
No. There's no contradictions.
So,
There's no contradictions in the Quran.
It's hypothetical.
Oh, he's asking hypothetically.
I'm asking
Yes.
hypothetically, yes. There
Yes,
was a
if
contradiction.
there was contradictions and if that sequence was proved wrong, then yes, I would question it.
Not the sequence. I'm asking about contradictions in the Quran. If we found a contradiction in the Quran, would you question it?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, I would, bro.
Okay. Thrayle, do you have the Discord open? I just have my phone. I can't access it.
Yeah, I can get to it.
Okay, so I just need the number of the verses. I memorized them. So, في آية, there's an ayah that says وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. We brought forth everything living from water, right?
Yes. Jinn are not made of water, jinn are made from fire.
So are they alive?
Yes.
So how come they're not made of water?
Because the jinn, they also eat what humans eat.
That's not answering my question.
Yeah, and jinn can't survive without water.
That's not my question.
What's your question, buddy?
How come they're not made of water, but they're alive?
The ayah, can you read the ayah again, bro?
Do you have it, Thrayle?
Yeah, can you tell me the number? What's the number, bro?
Yeah, we'll get it. Thrayle, do you have it?
Yeah, the one for water, or the one
Yes.
for okay. So we created everything from water would be from Al-Abna. I'm sorry, Al-Anbaya. I don't know how to pronounce that.
You'll find the number. Al-Anbiya, yes. You'll find the number next to it.
Let me know.
2130.
2130. Can you get us the fire one as well? It's right
Yeah, I'm
next to
getting
it.
that. 5514. I'm sorry, 5515.
5515. There you go.
I didn't pull up the Discord.
You said 2930?
No,
2130.
2130, 5515.
Do the disbelievers not realize that the heavens and earth once one mass, then we split them apart and we created from water every living thing?
Yes,
Will
we
they
created
not
from water every
then believe?
We just need that part. We created from water every living thing.
Yeah, this is like saying that every creation was
Every
made
living
from
creation.
water. Like they can't survive without water because humans, they have water in them. Humans have water in them, and jinn drink water.
I thought, hang on, I thought it said it made humans from clay.
Yeah, but
And
humans
also
have
say-
water in them. They're what, 30% water?
We'll get to the humans part. First, let's stick to the jinn. Do you think water is
The
fire?
jinn.
Let me read the tafsir of this ayah real quick.
Yes. Let's read the tafsir. You're gonna go with Ibn Jalil Tabari or Ibn Kathir? M2K?
Yeah.
Ibn Jalil Tabari or Ibn Kathir? Because it's not gonna. Oh, you're a Salafi.
No, I'm just reading what he said about it.
I'm asking you if you're a Salafi.
I'm not. It doesn't really matter, bro.
Okay, sure. But I'm presenting you the contradiction and you're still not questioning it.
I don't think it's a contradiction.
So we created everything from water, but we created the gym from fire is not a contradiction. Is that what you're saying?
1 second, bro.
Take your
Is it
time.
not a contradiction? Do you need someone else to tell you it's not a contradiction?
Yeah, we need 55,000.
I need the understanding of it.
Mhm.
Okay, yes, okay, there you go.
Okay, there.
Jinns are not made of water, nor is 2030 meant to suggest it metaphorically. Quran 21:30, we made from water every living thing, refers to the basis of life on earth, humans, animals, plants. While 15:27 and 55:15
Are you
explicitly
asking
state that
ChatGPT
jinns.
right now? Is this ChatGPT?
Yeah, this is
No,
ChatGPT.
not ChatGPT. Oh,
So-
This
sorry,
is
guys, not
literally
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Is it Gemini? What are you using? A different one?
Yeah, I just searched it up on Google and this
It's
is
an AI.
It's Gemini.
One second.
It's Gemini.
Again, I'm hearing that you're changing your belief as you are
Yeah, on the
confronted
go.
by
Yes.
questions and information. And I'm curious about.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you, M2. Okay.
Philly was speaking.
I'm curious how you feel comfortable with being able to change your beliefs, evolve your beliefs, correct your beliefs in so quickly.
I'm not correcting my beliefs because in the beginning I was right. I was doubting it. I was right on everything. I just had to fact check it.
You said multiple times that you were wrong, didn't you, M2K?
Yeah, but then I re-corrected myself because I was like, what am I looking at? And then
What did you recorrect?
Okay.
I looked at sunnah.com and I was right.
Okay, so
Right,
okay,
right.
let's back up. Let's back up. 1 second. Let's back up. All A is B. B is not A. Is my first proposition correct?
My thing cut out. Can you say that one more time, bro?
I'm saying have round circles. Round wheels. Okay? You found a car that has square wheels.
Square wheel car doesn't exist. It's illogical.
I'm giving you hypotheticals, my guy. Can you entertain a hypothetical?
No, because it doesn't exist. Hypothetically,
Okay,
it doesn't
all
exist.
cars are red. All cars are red. You found a white car. Does that contradict my... When I say all living things come from water, and then I say the jinns come from fire, does that contradict that?
Here, let me read the answer for you, bro.
Read the...
This is not...
Okay.
Wallah, this is not ChatGPT. I swear to God, it's not AI.
Okay, just give me a second. Thrayle, can you finish this conversation? I'm getting frustrated.
Here, let me just read this to you.
Where is it from,
You don't
M2K?
need to
It's
just
not
read
from.
It's from islamstackexchange.com.
Islam
Do you
Stack
trust
Exchange.
this?
So it's
Do you trust this site?
Yeah, it gathers
More
a
than
bunch
you.
of opinions.
So this is getting information not directly from the Prophet.
These scholars get they have ijaza, so they have a chain of narrations and teachers that go all the way back to the Prophet. So you can say in some way it's direct, yes.
You can say in some way that it's direct because there is a chain going all the way back to the Prophet.
Buddy, you weren't hearing my questions clearly, and we were talking for less than 5 minutes. How can you trust people talking for more than 1,400 years?
Let me tell you, bro. No, we already know that angels are made up of light and jinns are made of fire.
You're
word
not
everything.
answering Tav's question.
Can I finish? Let me read.
You're
'cause
not answering Tav's
It's a
question.
script.
I'll answer
It's a
it. Go
script.
ahead.
He has to go through it.
You want me to read the thing, or you want me to answer your question?
Answer the question.
Yeah, we were talking for less than 5 minutes, and you can't remember the first question I asked you. How can you trust people talking for more than 1,400 years?
Because I don't have thousands of teachers going back to the Prophet telling me.
Can you repeat my question for me, please?
Oh my gosh.
Just repeat my question, can you?
Your question was that if this verse says that every
That's
thing
not
is
the
made of
question.
water, then jinns are not made of water. What's the
not my
what's the
question.
contradiction?
The question that Tav just asked you. How many times?
Hey, am I supposed to be Albert Einstein, bro?
You don't have to.
No, I'm. My name is Albert Einstein. That's my
Zero
name, bro.
self-awareness is very cool. Zero. None.
Albert
None.
Einstein. That's my name.
Yeah, obviously. I can see.
Thank you, bro.
Albert Einstein. Do you think that
Ladies
you
and
can...
gentlemen. Sorry, Philly, go ahead.
It's okay, Tav. Go for it.
I was about to say, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, don't panic. We have the smartest man who ever lived here on TikTok.
Of course, bro. The ayah uses the word kulla, which refers to the
Yeah, I know it uses kulla. I've
plants.
read it in Arabic. I've
The
read it to you in
plants.
Arabic. I memorized it in Arabic. Do you want me to read it fully in Arabic?
The plants. They refers to the plants, the
Does it refer
animals.
to the plants?
It does, bro.
Doesn't
It
say that in
does.
the ayah. It doesn't say that in the ayah. You want me to read it in Arabic?
Hey, and also let me read this. Let me bring a
No.
scientific.
I don't want
notation
you to
bro.
just read at us. No, I need you to stop reading at us. I need to make sure, if I didn't already, I'm going to thank Philly Redding, Sonia, Thayu, Danny Grax, Martha, also Tavium, Everlasting Godstopper, and Katie for helping with the previous goal. Thank you guys. You're amazing. Appreciate all of you. Can you question your beliefs, 51?
What happened?
Can you question your beliefs?
Yes, and it's encouraged.
He got that answer from the Quran.
How do you question your beliefs?
You're supposed to. You're not a complete Muslim according to the Prophet if you don't question your beliefs.
How? The question was how. How do you question your beliefs, MQK?
You fact check what's going on in the Quran, what it says in the Quran. You try to understand better what you don't understand.
Right?
You try to get a better understanding of things that you see in the Hadith and the Quran.
Yeah, by going to the scholars, right?
Yeah. Or by
So
reading
not
it,
thinking for yourself.
and going to alim course, going to tafsir class, learning about the Quran and understanding it.
Do you
So not thinking for
question...
yourself. Anything but thinking for yourself, right?
Of course you can think for yourself. You're supposed to think for yourself, but if you don't understand
How
it
are
by
you doing
yourself, if
How
you
are
don't
you doing
understand
that?
it by yourself, then you go to the
Hold
scholars.
on. Okay, 1 second. How are you doing that by going to the scholars? I don't
What
get
do you
that.
mean?
I mean, if you can think for yourself, why go take a packaged thought from the scholars? Why
Mhm.
not think for yourself?
I said, think for yourself first, and then go look at the scholars if you don't understand it, or to get a deeper understanding of it.
To confirm your bias, basically.
It's not a bias.
How is it not a bias?
It's not a bias because it says to go get a deeper understanding in the hadith. You want me to pull it up for you, bro?
Okay, I'll shut my mouth, I'll mute, and let Philly and Thrayle take the
M2K, you said earlier that you get information, you get your beliefs from the Prophet. But then you
Peace be
also...
upon him.
And I hear that you also get your understandings and your belief from scholars.
Yes.
Do you question the scholars?
Yes.
How do you question the scholars?
By looking at the hadith and looking at what they said about the hadith, and seeing if it makes sense, or seeing if it correlates, or if you understand it.
Do you think that you can truly understand something, that it makes sense, if you are not able to communicate it to someone else?
I believe in a way you can.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear me, or my mic cut out again?
I heard you. I'm considering your answer.
And also for that other guy, combustion reaction includes water.
Gosh.
What?
You can't have a combustion.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You can't have a combustion reaction without
What are
H2O.
you talking about? What
You can't.
What
You can't
question
have a.
are you
You
answering?
can't have
What
a.
are you talking about?
This
What does
guy
this
had
have
a
to do
question.
with
He said.
anything that was? What are you talking about?
He said
What the
water.
fuck are you talking about?
He
What the
said
fuck
water.
are you talking about?
Bro, he said water was.
I think
He
it's
said
Who?
water was
general.
created.
We're
He
just
said
talking to
everything's created by
Philly
water.
right now. Why did you break away from what Philly was? What?
Cause she stopped talking. I thought
What
she was
does
done.
that have to do with what Philly? So you just decided to randomly blurt out the random thought that came into your mind that had nothing to do with what she was saying.
No, because I didn't finish what I said with the other guy.
You didn't finish.
Yeah.
Didn't finish what?
Hmm?
You didn't finish what?
When I was gonna say my argument, then
Your
I couldn't
argument.
finish
Why
it
are you
because somebody said.
arguing? Why are you arguing?
Because he gave his
How
argument
is
and
that
I responded with my
demonstrating you
argument.
questioning your beliefs?
Because he was questioning
Why
it
did you
and not giving
request to
us.
be on this panel?
Because
I didn't want to wait for the answer.
Sorry if that was a bit confrontational.
That's all he was confrontational.
But that package thought buying process, that was interesting.
It was strange that literally every question we asked, he had to go Google a scholar's expert opinion on before he could commit to a thought, though he would already commit to a thought. He just, as soon as a scholar said something different, well then, now that's his thought.
Mm-hmm.
Also, his English was fine.
Oh, yes.
His Arabic wasn't though.
Ironic.
Well, he read 80% of the Quran in Arabic.
That's a weird phenomenon that I found. People studying the Quran or saying that they read the Quran usually just blur like kul when he said kul وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي. Kul here means everything. Doesn't mean water, plants or living things or humans or whatever. Just meant everything. But yeah, sure. I guess you can go with the scholars. Parking lot waiting. That was a very entertaining.
Well, I appreciate you responding to the bat signal so quickly.
My favorite TikTok doctor.
Thank you.
And thank you, KD. I saw that. Appreciate you gifting the panel. We We do have a couple more requests. I've just cycled through about 3 ghosts. 3 poltergeists have been exorcised from the panel.
Poltergeist.
You guys, it's raining so much, it's so loud in here.
I hear that.
Oh, I miss that kind of rain.
We had one here like that 2 days ago. It was very nice, and it happened while I was not live, so it was even better.
Back when we were kids, we thought Allah was pouring some bucket of waters on top of us.
I used to hear those explanations from people that God was crying or God was, in some other way leaking. And I think it made the whole God idea more ridiculous to me.
Leaking one sent me.
Okay, I guess.
Hi.
Welcome back, Extra Celestial. It's been a while.
Yeah, I've been trying to collect evidence.
Bet you have. Bet you have. Let's start at the top. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
35.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods or a higher power or anything like that?
I believe that it's pretty possible, but it's not in the way that we all think.
What do you mean it is possible? What is possible?
Okay, it's possible that there could be a god or gods, but technically, even if it were a god or gods, they probably aren't like this, like the ones, like not like the ones in the books.
So what god do you think probably is there?
Well, if you look at modern day, and I hate to say simulation theory is my new thing, but I'm starting to lean towards that more so. If you look at how we are in the modern day and how everything kind of connects, even like when you're thinking about like how nothing is ever really smooth.
Was it me or her?
I think it was her.
You cut out.
I was almost afraid to ask. I thought it was me and I was going to just bask in it for a moment. Simulation theory now.
Hello? Sorry.
Now we hear you.
Yeah. I was saying things kind of fit together, kind of like Legos, somewhat, even if you're not like able to see it in the matter.
I'm sorry, what fits together like Legos? Other
Everything.
than Legos.
Everything. Like stuff comes together the way they've come together, and then
Oh my.
and so it's like that could be this the sign that we live in something that might be made up. Then when you look at today's situation like on computers and stuff. I'm sorry.
Let's back up. You believe in simulation theory now?
I'm leaning towards it.
And that's what you say when you say that there's a higher power, godlike thing, that it's not like the books. You're saying it's like a programmer.
Yeah, I'm saying that it could be many programmers, like
Like a development team.
like or like we're like all on like a line. online as characters or something. Technically,
What indicates to you that there is a simulation?
like it could just be because we model our simulations and things like that off of our lives. Honestly, and the way that science claims that they're not conscious because they require a certain quality, but they can't really pinpoint what that is. I I feel like it's a matter of having these certain qualities being like space and what is that? Uh, it's so icky. And let's see, and yeah, so different qualities or whatever. And I feel like they're kind of like lending it to like flattening the theory or whatever, saying that nothing can be conscious because it requires these things, but I think that they are. And I think that we take systems for granted and don't give enough credit to those that can't speak for themselves.
Thrayle.
Thank you. It's a lovely view.
It was quite, but yeah.
So I'm sorry. What
And then,
what about
like,
that indicates simulation?
Okay, so the reason why I think it's more of a simulation is because of the fact that, and the thing is, we didn't create the relationships that are made in nature, but we just made the words, and that's the only reason why I'm kind of on the fence. But when you understand like how virtual particles work and stuff like that, and you understand the ancient way things went and how they can make a whole sentence from those placements and stuff. Like okay, whoa, I'm skipping. So
Yeah,
I
you're
There's
skipping
many
around from a
questions.
chat GPT or something.
no, I'm not
Okay,
actually
let's
using her
slow it
name. She's
down.
mean.
That's good. Let's slow it down. No, it's not good actually. There's questions raised by even that. I think Philly's got a couple questions. I'm gonna let her ask first.
Mm-hmm.
You said virtual something.
Particles.
What is virtual particles?
So the virtual particles, apparently they're temporary particles that pop in and out of existence or whatever from the void or whatever, but they're also used in mathematical equations as a bookkeeping technique by scientists to kind of understand how the like underpinnings of the universe work. So there are other concepts that I've looked into that I'm specifically speaking on behalf of that do the same thing, and there's actually one of them that has a couple of peer-reviewed papers on them. So that one being the I Ching, which
So, can I pause you there? I'm just curious how this connects to simulation theory.
well, because of the way that the things kind of come together. So I was getting the whole sentence thing that I kind of skipped ahead of. And so I was trying to explain that when you use that technique, they're really good at describing situations that happen depending on which one you're looking at. The which version of it you're looking at, because if they're describing DNA and like DNA states, so everything in life is structured through processing, and so basically, well, I guess that's the answer.
I did not follow how
Hold
that.
hold on. Sorry, I have to take a second. No, I just thought about how I said it was simulation, but when you think about the point of what I said, it didn't make sense. It makes more sense that the reason why we see these things is because everything does the same thing. Like from the micro to macro, all of these processes, they're still doing the same things. They're just in bigger groups. So maybe not.
Yeah, I'm still not hearing the connection.
There's no connection. The connection that I was just making just now was that like little, like regular particles, forget about virtual, regular particles, they go through processes and they do the same thing. Let's just say everybody here has a job. I press a button, you open the door, and it's so on and so forth. We're still going to be doing that alone. When we get in a group, we may look like we're doing something else, like together when we're packed together, like mushrooms or something. Not mushrooms, like sardines. We would maybe look like something else to something bigger than us. You know what I'm saying? So when these particles come together, like oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, elements, the natural elements, when they come together and they create like atoms and stuff, and then they create, those atoms create whatever they create, and all the way up to human, they're all processes. And so they're expressing those processes through the same processes that they would do when they were by themselves, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
No, I'm sorry.
Forget it.
I'm not following, but it could just be that I'm too tired. Don't drop me, Thrayle.
No,
I think I'm
it's
gonna
not
go to
you.
bed.
It's not you.
Okay.
Don't blame me
Okay.
for running. Appreciate you, Philly.
Did that make sense? I thought it made
Appreciate
sense.
you, Philly. No, it didn't make sense. No, it doesn't make any sense.
So, what part didn't make sense? I mean, of that last thing I said.
What part did you say that was supposed to?
Well, the whole particle thing, like I'm the simulation thing. I understand why now it may not even make sense to me anymore, because I just thought about what I said out loud, and then I was like, okay, if they're doing the same thing, it's not like we're being simulated. It's that everything has a process, and it's just a process growing up in a group.
It's just a process growing up.
Yes. So, yeah, everything is always moving, right? And so the way that they move, they're going to express a certain movement.
You said everything is always moving, right? Where did you get that, and what do you mean by moving?
I mean,
in relation to what?
Everything else. Okay, like we're little teeny tiny processes of things, and those
We're
things.
teeny tiny processes. We are.
Yes, we're made of tiny processes.
We're made of tiny processes. That sounds a little different than saying we are tiny processes.
Yes, sorry. We're made of tiny processes.
What is the thing you're actually conveying here? Because
I'm conveying that.
As
yeah, I'm wrong. I was wrong.
Okay. So then right now it's more kind of you trying to figure out what you even believe.
Oh no, I know what it's not really a belief. It's still proven. It's just the way I was. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. It was just the way I was explaining it. Well, first the simulation.
So there's no simulation.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, that's what I was trying to
say. That's not the thing anymore. So what is it that you're actually saying you believe then?
I was gonna say I believe that astrology is science. It tracks the faces of those virtual particles that I was speaking of.
I'm sorry. You're saying astrology tracks the phases of virtual particles?
Yes. So it's the structure of time.
I'm sorry. Wait. Stop trying to talk over me before I formulated the question. I was first clarifying I understood what you said. So you said that astrology is describing virtual particles. How did you use virtual particles?
Okay, so when I was talking about at Ching, and how mind you, when you go back and you look into the history, um, these two things were very prominent around the world, and they were used as science. So the thing about spirituality now, that's science. I think that the world has gotten a quite a mix up in their understanding of what. And slowly but surely,
You're
science is
cutting out
catching
so
up
much.
to the whole understanding
I'm
of
not sure.
the. Oh, okay. Oh my
So
god.
now
Why
you're
is
saying that
oh
because science had something to do with astrology and
I said science.
religion.
Mm-hmm. Science.
What?
Yeah, I said that spirituality is what they
Spirituality
used to call science. Spirit. Yeah, the stuff we call spirituality these days
is what
is
they
what they
used
used
to
to use
call.
as science.
Okay.
Science.
So they used to call the things that are now spiritual science, and then they stopped doing that. Why did they stop doing that, Celestial?
I think because we forgot the mechanisms through which they were measuring.
We forgot
And we
the
got better ways
mechanisms.
of tracking these things. Yes, we did. And we got better ways of tracking these things.
In what way did we forget the mechanisms?
My guess is that what you in the ancient days they used to. Oh God, not again.
Ancient
Sorry.
days is in what? Did you just become a bowl of petunias for a split second? Can you tell me?
I'm sorry.
What ancient days are you talking about?
I mean, like Egyptian times and stuff like that. Like way back when there was a lot more tribal influence. So back then,
What tribe?
When I say tribal, I mean like family and people who were born in one area. They kind of stuck in that area and they took care of one another.
Are you talking about a particular area? Or are you just talking about a general time period?
Well, I said I'm talking about general. I'm talking in general, and I might be over pushing it, but I'm pretty sure it's a similar vibe around the whole time at that time.
What's the vibe?
The vibe was that we take care of ours. And
okay, now what does that have to do with astrology being science?
It didn't. You asked me a bunch of questions that led us there, but I was saying that around that time that they used to track behaviors of things, and they would use words as indicators rather than the arbitrary ways that we use them now. So when expansion started happening, people would
they used words as indicators. What does that mean?
Indicators like ya, weh, stuff like that. Those first the beginning ways of the beginning sounds of the words they would categorize them in a way that would show you like, okay, if they have this indicator, then that means that it has this quality.
What language are you talking about? Like which developed language?
Like I said, I'm gonna say Egyptian for now because I know that was one I did.
Egyptians.
Coptic or?
Yeah, good question.
Well, so my guess was just that, like I said, I that was the first one I can think of right now. I know that I had read something about that as far as the way with them they knew about how the different cycles and stuff would affect us. Because they did track behaviors, not necessarily that they tracked somehow virtual particles or anything like that, but they were noticing that the same processes that were done by one person would, if they were doing the same processes in a group, it was like they lost their. Oh, that's a bad idea. That's a bad word. It seems as though when you see multiple things in a group, regardless of them doing the same things that they would do by themselves, that they lose, that you stop paying attention to the one and you look at the whole as a pack. And in that understanding, you still persist as yourself, but nobody sees that. Oh my god, hold on, sorry.
That made zero sense.
I have a question.
Let's follow that.
My question is, huh? I'm sorry, but I'm really struggling. I'm really struggling to try to follow.
We increased the what the fuck just a little bit. I think there's really only one more layer to go. Maybe we could. I mean, we could do let's do a quick poll. I think we could do the 5-minute one, but she may just be on the phone until it's over. Let's do this one. Smileys, she stays, and brownies, we move on.
I would like to ask one or maybe two questions before we let her go.
It's if she comes back from her phone call. I fully expect that this phone call will last the length of the poll, but I could be wrong.
Nice. After the rain.
And then we'll probably hear from Celestial again in a month or two with a new theory. Or back to human design cards, I'm sure. Well, I didn't actually see the result of the poll. I was watching it. Didn't see the end. But also, she's still on the phone. Well, I'll take the opportunity to thank everybody for the 61,000 times you've all tapped the screen. Really appreciate that. Of course, the more we tap, the more likely we'll get out to the FYP of some believer who can actually question their beliefs instead of just formulating whatever the I'm sorry, not ChatGPT anymore. Gemini or whatever AI says. I wonder which AI she's using these days.
Just picturing the scene in the Matrix where Neo's in the cubicle in the office and the phone rings. I'm wondering who Celestial is on the phone with right now.
Somebody called and is directing her to step out the window. I hope not. I hope that she comes back another time with something else. Maybe something that she can actually question. Though, I mean, I will say, W's in the chat, she did question the simulation theory that she started with when she came up here. Hello, Tackett. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
62.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods?
63. Actually, March 13th. 63, March 13th.
Well, happy birthday in a month. Do you have a belief in a god or god's higher power or anything like that?
Yeah, of course I do.
Which god do you believe in?
Well, there's only one God.
And which god do you believe that is?
That's the God of the Bible. Because everything is from the Bible.
Have you read the Bible from beginning to end?
Of course not.
What do you mean, of course not? Why not?
I've been through it, but lots to remember. Why? What do you want to know?
Well, really, I just want to know if you can question your beliefs since you requested
Well, not
it
really,
on the
because,
panel.
I mean, we write the
And
date
why
down.
did you request up on the panel?
I'm sorry. Really?
Why did you request on the panel where the topic is, can you question your beliefs?
Oh, I thought you were going to question me. I was about to explain why I believe. We all write the date down, correct? 2026, according to the Bible. Everybody writes it
I'm
down.
not interested in why you believe if you can't question it, Tackett. I didn't ask you why you believe. And because other people have counted a year a certain way, seems like a very questionable reason to believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's not 2000, it's 2000.
Mateo makes a great point. According to Mateo, it's 5786. And according to Tavian, it's 2976. So seems rather arrogant just to assume it's 2026. Yeah, Tackett, the reason you get kicked off is because you didn't read the prompt. If you'd read the prompt, maybe we could have had a conversation that showed that you were capable of questioning your beliefs, but you didn't come up here to engage. You came up here to talk over people and present your proof or whatever it is you think it is. Nobody cares. I'm not here for arguments, and I'm not here for you to just display arrogance. I'm here to see if you can question your beliefs. And if you can, then I'll ask what it is and why. But hello, Just Fool. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
It's 30, or no, it's 29. I haven't hit 30 yet.
Fascinating. Everybody's getting their ages wrong. Do you have a belief in a god or god's higher power or anything like that?
I try to believe that there's multiple gods trying to coexist. Trying is the key word.
Try to believe, trying to exist. Why are you trying to believe anything like this?
Because it's not my place. I want to believe that. Well, I used to believe that I was an oracle trying to figure out the future to help the past. But now I think strongly now is that I think I predicted someone's end that was relatively close to
Can you stop rubbing your microphone?
Oh, sorry, that's just my leg.
Yeah, stop doing that. You predicted someone's end, you say? Are you sure
Yes.
you predicted it?
My entire existence was stressed out. And I think it was because I wasn't as close. I was unusually stressed because I wasn't close to the person that I was supposed to find to predict.
You weren't,
I believe,
close to a person. So you were stressed.
Because I couldn't find the person I was supposed to find. Maybe. Like, you know, when a
what indicates to you that you
animal
predicted someone's death?
I think I woke up before it happened. And the coroner called the time, and I think I woke up at the moment.
How does that indicate that you predicted it?
Because something told me it, and I just learned that language.
What do you mean something told you it?
Well, before the awakening, I guess people were calling it. Like,
I didn't listen to anything. I just did my own thing, and I thought that was myself, but I think that's just the universe pushing me in a certain direction. And I think the universe tries to speak to us all in ways. But,
I don't know. I think I've just overthought myself now.
In what way did the universe speak to you?
It didn't. It just softly spoke around me, and I guess I just tuned in. I don't like.
Are you sure?
The new way of
Josh.
trying to understand things. I remember a time where listening to the universe, the calculations and the listening to animals and
what are you saying?
The numbers. Alien talk, probably. I don't even know.
Are you well right now? Are you inebriated?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm just stressed because I believed that I predicted someone's end.
Yeah,
and that's not the type of prediction I want to do.
About it. Yeah. And when I ask you questions about it, it doesn't seem like you can really clarify what it is that makes you think that you predicted it.
True. It's hard to explain because it's...
Is it possible that you're just kind of shaken from something that occurred where someone's unalived and you're trying to find some measure of responsibility where it's your fault or your somehow you could have prevented or helped?
I don't think I could have prevented it. I couldn't have helped. I just knew.
How do you know you knew?
By mine.
What indicates to you that you had a knowing of someone's unalignment beforehand?
I think this one was very stressful to me because I wasn't able
Okay,
to
yes.
see the person alive again
You're not
before.
really. You're not really
Well, I'm saying that
answering my
the
questions. It sounds
stress.
like you're processing a grief. And how recent was this?
Oh, this happened like yesterday,
Okay, yeah.
or
It sounds like your process want to
probably.
seem cold and heartless, but I don't think that
Don't
you're
worry.
coherent. I don't think that you're coherently conversing with me about what has happened. I don't think you're actually hearing my questions. You're kind of trying to go through some emotional things here that I think you should go
True.
through with somebody, but not on a
Fair
TikTok
enough.
live. I really do wish you the best, Justin. I hope that you keep asking questions, and maybe after some time we can ask you some questions. But I think right now I'm not getting anything coherent. I noticed somebody very eager in chat to get up on the panel. That's usually my indication that it's not going to be a very fruitful conversation. But we'll see what happens. Why not?
Hello.
Hello, Lambo. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
30.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I'll turn up my volume.
Do you have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that?
Yeah.
And what god do you believe in?
I would say I'm, what's it called? Like agnostic, where I believe in a higher power, but wouldn't be able to tell you what it looks like or what I imagine it looks like.
So agnostic theist.
Yeah.
So you believe there's something there, but
Yeah.
you can't describe it. You don't know what it is.
Yes.
Why do you believe there's something, and what is the best description of this something?
I can give you a decent answer as to why I believe it, but I'll stick with my original kind of sentiment that I wouldn't be able to start describing it to you. But as to why, I believe that there are way too many things that are seemingly organized or planned that just fit or harmonize very.
So it's a harmonizing organizer. That's
Yeah.
so far what you've said.
There's a word. There's like a term for it. It's called planned something. Planned design. It's something about design, creative design, or intelligent design. I'm sorry. It's called.
Sorry, what is design?
I think it's a phrase that is like referred to when people are talking about the creation of life or a.
Right. What is design?
Intentional planning.
So intelligent, intentional planning.
Yeah.
What indicates intentional planning?
The way a lot of just life cycles work, how they work, how miraculous they are. And I don't mean miraculous like miracle, but
then what do you mean? Why would you say it? Is it just to give weight?
As in, if it were to quote unquote happen by chance, the probability of it is basically zero.
How did you determine the probability of an occurrence that actually occurred? Like, how did you determine a probability would be anything less than 1?
Well, you can do like you could do models on computers that kind of simulates things, and it will tell you an answer. Like the probability of the eye being formed.
So you're saying you've done models on a computer where it simulated the probability of an eye being formed and found it was less than 1.
I'm not saying I personally have done that, but yes,
have
it's
you
an
heard of
example.
actual models where somebody has done that exact experiment, that they have programmed some?
Yeah,
Can
that's
you
why
tell
I
me
brought it up.
when that was published, peer reviewed?
I can do my I'm not gonna say do my research because I remember reading this, but I can try to find that same article for you if you'd want me to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd love to see that article.
Okay, in the meantime, can I answer your actual prompt? No?
Well, the one from the prompt that you can answer, I guess, would be, can you question your beliefs?
Yeah, that's the one I wanted to more talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying they can. Do you think they can or can't?
Who's they?
The belief. Do you think one's beliefs can be questioned?
I wouldn't run a prompt like this if I didn't. However, I've noticed that in this conversation, you're not really willing to question yours. You're kind of evading it.
No, I am.
Why is that?
I am willing to question my beliefs.
Then
if they're challenged with proof.
If they're challenged with
proof or evidence. So if you can provide me a proof or an evidence.
So you're here to argue, to debate, to get evidence given against your belief. You're not actually capable of questioning your own belief, which is boring as fuck. Go on, find yourself a debate live.
Yeah, I think that one did me in. I'm gonna get some sleep, buddy. Thanks as always. Bye. You wanna drop me?
Gotcha. Have a good night, Godstopper. Appreciate you being here. Great questions as always. This is what they do, folks. Am I somehow practicing a supernatural ability? I did predict that conversation would go well. Usually those that beg to be up on the panel are just looking for either a platform to share their wild ideas that they have no intention of challenging, or they're just looking for a debate. And I'm not looking for either. So, if anybody is actually capable of questioning their beliefs, and you've got a belief in a god or God's higher power or anything like that, then go ahead and request on it. I'm not here to argue or debate. I'm not here to tear you down or prove you wrong. I'm not here to burgle your gods or make you look like a fool, although you may do that on your own. I really just want to know, if you can question your beliefs, then what is it that you believe? And why do you believe it? Why can't I be both, Sonic Wind? Why can't I be neither? time for a little bit of an intermission. A moment to stretch my legs, a moment to find out why there's a cat outside the studio. We all hear that, right? No, I don't think it's quite poem time yet, Tugmodu. It's a little bit early. But this might be a good time to remind people that have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that, that I'm not here to debate, and if they're open to questioning their beliefs, that is what the boxes are for. I am, at the moment, preferring new guests, though I do see a few returning faces in the chat and seen you in the queue a few times. I might take you up here soon, but I do want to see if anybody new comes through with a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that, and is capable of questioning their beliefs. And if I didn't already, I do need to make sure that I thank Philly Red and Heather's Descent, as well as Martha and Katie. Thank you guys so much for helping with the previous goal. You guys are amazing.
Who carved these crowns in your sky? Gave them your hunger and your time. Taught you to kneel so you feel tall. Then called the shiver in your spine a sign. Tell me, what are gods to you? Names on a leash around your throat, soft little certainties, tied like stones inside your coat. If doubt is such a holy crime, why does it feel so sharp, so true? Tell me, what are gods to you? But cages made of words you never choose. You say you're led by a sacred hand, yet you won't look at your own. You fear the crack in every room, so you build your prison out of stone. What are gods to you? Echoes you're scared to let grow old. Sweet little certainties, burning your questions into gold. If silence is the highest law, why does your buried anger move? Tell me, what are gods to you? But change your kiss, afraid to lose. What if the voice you call divine is just your you mistake for your own face. Harsh little certainties, keeping you frozen in one place. If freedom is a whispered word, why does it thunder when it blooms? Tell me, what are gods to you? If not the key you fear to turn in you.
Thank you, Z-Witch. I appreciate you. I hope you had a happy Valentine's Day, too. My wife also got me a stuffed head for Valentine's Day. I don't actually have the picture on my camera roll anymore. I shared it in the Discord last week, but I'll have to put it somewhere a little more visible. It is an adorable little bat with stitches, and I don't know how to describe it. It looked sort of a zombie bat, and it's adorable. Well, we have a choice. I do notice a returning guest in queue. I would wonder if there's anybody else who is curious enough or courageous enough to question their beliefs. Not just to have me ask you questions, but is questioning your beliefs something that you can even do? I think it's one of the best answers, Martha. Hello, Nancy. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS? Nancy, did you mean to join us? I guess not. I'll set you back down. If you did mean to join, of course you can always request again. And if anybody else has a belief in a god or God's higher power or anything like that, you're capable of questioning your beliefs, go ahead and request on it. I've been told before that when Santa was in the background behind Thrayle, it looked like demon horns coming out of his head. I wonder if now it looks like antenna, since I've swapped out the alien for Santa. Well, yeah, the God one definitely looks like horns, but those are bat ears. It's awfully quiet for this time of morning. I'm surprised there aren't more questioning believers capable of questioning. Dark hair and light eyes. Some of that might be. But welcome into everybody who may be just joining us. If you have a belief in a god or God's higher power or anything like that, you're capable of questioning that belief, go ahead and request up. I'm not here to debate you or argue. I'm not looking to burgle your god or make you look like a fool, though you may do that on your own. I really just want to know if you can question that belief. And what is it that you believe? And why do you believe it? And thank you, Mask, for the repost. Thank you, everybody who's reposted, everybody who's shared the live, who's tapped the screen. Of course, that all helps us get out into the algorithmic, what would you call that? The algorithmic rhythm. Get us out into the algorithm, and maybe a few people who have a belief and are curious enough or courageous enough to question it might find their way to requesting up. should guess I could start getting a poem ready. Feels a little early for that, though, doesn't it? Yeah, it is a little early. Guess says it's Monday night where they are. Monday night. New Zealand. That makes more sense. Well, thank you for joining us from the future.
Welcome in. Can you question your beliefs? Do you have a belief in a God? A higher power? Or anything like that? Request on up. Not here to debate or argue, or even burgle your God. But there's always room for one more in the shed.
Hello, Eta Taxis. Eta Taxis. How do you say that?
Out of Texas.
Eta Taxis. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
43.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or anything like that?
Yes.
And what god do you believe in?
It doesn't have a name.
Does it have any traditions, practices, texts?
It does what it wants.
It does what it wants. And what is it that indicates to you that it exists?
So, there's a couple of different topics within gods and what human constructs have created of them. The closest thing that I've possibly found is a little known history about Einstein, that when he first developed the theory of relativity, he was studying...
Back off the microphone a little bit. It's hard to hear you through all the breath plosives.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Much.
Einstein worked on the theory of relativity by studying gravity waves emitted when supernovas collapsed into black holes, as well as the gravity waves emitted when molecules would change state from liquid to solid.
I'm sorry, what question are you answering right now?
You asked me about what I believe as a god.
I actually asked you why you believe there is any such thing.
So I'm using science to prove it.
To prove what?
that there is a God.
Okay, so you're not really interested in questioning your beliefs. You're just here to kind of prove what you think is God exists.
No, because at the end of it, it may not be true too.
What do you mean?
So the question is, can you prove that there could be a God? And if you could, when you find the answer, you must be willing to accept that there is nothing there at
I'm
all.
sorry. Whose question is that?
The one you would ask yourself if you would go to the ends of science in order to be able to prove something.
The one I would ask myself if I wanted to go to the ends of science to prove something is, I'm sorry, what was the question you decided I should ask?
Well, I was showing you how I questioned my beliefs.
Oh, how is that?
Well, what I said about Einstein finding that those two values were the same, what that would indicate is that there is potentially some being to whom we are nothing more than specks on electrons. And so if there is something up there, it is so vast that none of our prayers would ever reach it. But there also could be the chance that it's just seawater or dust in some other cosmic planet of which it's made of all the billions and trillions of galaxies that we see around us.
So what you're saying is, according to what you're quoting from Einstein here, that we would either be microscopic or even submicroscopic dust on the, say, the wing of a celestial skeletal bat goddess unfurling her wings in accordance to the Lambda-Cedium model of physics, otherwise known as the Big Bang.
If the physics worked out that way, then yes.
Right, or that we're like just droplets of water in a cosmic ocean, or something like that. But in either way, that there's no real reason to believe that some entity exists. That,
no, there's more to it than that.
That listens, right?
Potentially.
What do you mean there's more?
So, if that relativity is true, then that means to us, the popping of life in our cells is made up of quintillions of life forms, so much smaller than us. And there is a chance that that celestial being that we are a part of is part of a next cosmic stage of relativity to which it belongs something even larger.
Right, some infinite sort of babushka doll of infinity, where everything is just infinitely a piece of something bigger and smaller.
It's the only way to explain true equality.
I'm sorry, but when I had asked you at the beginning if you believed in a God, you said yes. And when I asked you what the God was,
I said it does as it wills.
So, in what way does any of what you're talking about here indicate?
If you can perceive infinite doorways, you'll arrive at one eventually.
I'm sorry. If you can perceive infinite doorways, you'll arrive at one. What, eventually?
One God.
Is it a God?
Well,
right, that's kind of my question. Why would you assume that you would arrive at a God if it's infinite doorways? Wouldn't it just be infinite doorways?
Yep.
Where's the God?
It would be one of the doorways along the way.
Why would a doorway be a God?
It was a metaphor.
God is a metaphor, or the doorway is a metaphor, or they're both metaphors.
The doorway is a metaphor.
So what is God?
So, if that has any ability to be true, then what a God would be is simply another metaphor for agency. according to the biblical works of the Abrahamic religions.
Sorry, whoa. Where did that come from?
Well, I've been
What does
questioning
that
my
have to do
beliefs.
with? Yeah, but God being another word for agency, what does that have to do with what you had just talked about before about God being one of the infinite doors?
Well, a God, not the one God, not the Abrahamic God, or maybe, who knows? You reach out infinitesimally, I might turn out at some point.
So you don't believe in the Abrahamic God?
No, I do.
Why are we
Just,
referenced? Oh no, you do. Why do you believe in the Abrahamic God?
Because I figured out what he is.
Which version of the Abrahamic God are you believing in?
Which version do you mean? I don't know what my options are.
Well, you're calling it a thing the Abrahamic God, but there are several different religions and viewpoints on what God is that have spawned off of what are known as Abrahamic faiths.
I'm intimately aware of how many different sects there are, but I'm asking what your context of asking is.
What do you mean what my context of asking it is? I just explained that there are different viewpoints of what the God is.
Yeah, I
So
know,
when
but
you
I'm
say
saying, like,
Abrahamic God
how many are
exists,
you trying to be? Are you trying to be sectarian in the idea that the Lutheran God and the Catholic God and the Islamic God and the Jesuit God and all of those are different gods?
is that your view?
No, I'm asking you for context so I can answer your earlier question.
I'm simply asking what you're referring to as the Abrahamic God.
The one that is contiguous through the different sects and the different religions from...
Is it contiguous?
It is.
How is it contiguous?
Well, in all ways, they all believed that they served the same thing.
In all ways, they all believed they all served the same thing. Are you sure?
You added an extra all there? No. In all ways, they all believed they served the same thing. Not that they all believed they all served the same thing.
Right.
Do you see the difference?
Right. Yes, I do see the difference, and I'm not sure what the semantic difference really makes here.
You added that last part?
Stop. I'm not trying to trick you into something. I'm trying to understand.
Oh, I don't believe you're trying to trick me.
Stop. I feel like you're trying to bother me. Do you actually have the ability to question your beliefs, or are you just trying to argue semantics?
No, I was on my way to explaining it, but you asked a very generalized question.
So you're just interested in explaining it.
Well, yeah. You said you didn't want to argue. So you want to discuss it.
Why did you request that?
Well, because I've been working on some very interesting things with all the questioning of my beliefs that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you could make a video or something. If you're just wanting to express things, you can express them. I don't feel like you're having a discussion with me. I feel like you're arguing with literally every question, trying to find faults, flaws, and loopholes to avoid answering them, to avoid having a direct discussion about what it is you actually believe. So, since I'm not interested in the weird, whatever the fuck that was, go make a video, I guess. And people can, without question, hear what it is you have to say. You fucking moron. Yes, Yes, because you clearly presented yourself as such, and that's what I did, was just discriminate against the presentation that you just gave. You fucking idiot. That was ableism. What you just did was ableism. How dare you? Some people. A million different things you could say in the comments after being dropped. You could say I didn't understand, like I, Thrayle, somehow didn't understand you. You could say that, maybe I missed the point, maybe I did something. Like, there's a million different things I'd even be willing to question. Conversation went. But the way you leaped to, automatically it must be ableism because you have some diagnosis that nobody asked you about, discussed. You didn't present in any way. Diminishes so many other people out there who actually do have that diagnosis and struggle on a daily basis. Diminishes anybody in here watching struggles with that or doesn't. Who operate through that without struggle. You just diminish all of that. Yeah, probably, Mateo. Barfing toaster. I'm not making that a requirement, but that could be handy. There are days I'm not sure I can do both at the same time. If you can drive off the cliff without flooring the accelerator. I don't know if that's even better. Do we have a request? I mean, welcome in, everybody just joining. If you are new here, you should know pretty much right off the bat, this is not a typical religious debate space. I'm not looking to tear you down or insult you for what you believe. I'm not looking to make you look like a fool. I'm not looking to debate you. I'm really not interested in any kind of shouting match or competitive conversation. I am really just interested in seeing if you can question your beliefs. And if you can, then what is it that you believe? And why do you believe it? If you can't question your beliefs, I guess the one question I might have is, why? Why can't you question it? Is it fear, or is it some kind of absolute certainty? What does that feel like? How does it feel to be dogmatically certain that you have the one true answer amongst a sea of potential answers? And that your one true answer can't be doubted, questioned, or in any way disproven, dismantled. I wonder why there's such a lack of belief lately. Or is it a lack of ability to question? Or maybe it's just the lack in my algorithm. Maybe I'm being somehow filtered out of the religious FYP.
That would be weird. I have re-entered this reality like a UFO.
Really?
Yep.
How did you depart this reality?
Well, by a lack of cell phone service, caused by rain, because that's a thing, and I have re-entered. I don't really know how I re-entered, actually, I just kind of came back.
Several hours ago.
Yeah, well, I probably re-entered a long time ago, but then I was like playing chess and got distracted, and I was frustrated and wrote off my phone for a little bit, you know. I just said,
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
done
you.
with you. And and then I looked at it a few minutes ago and I was like, oh, I exist again.
Well, congratulations on your newfound re-existence.
Yep, my re-entry into reality. I was just popping in and out of the reality.
I've seen that.
Like
I've heard about that before, at least. Like a
a
reflection
UFO in
on
Denver.
I was gonna say a reflection on a hotel room window, but sure.
Oh, I mean, maybe like that. You mean you don't think it was a UFO?
Dude, were you here when he showed us the picture?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, no, fairly certain it was a light reflecting on two panes of glass.
No, really? Like, was it that obviously a light reflecting on two panes of glass?
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, it was either that or a spectral TIE fighter. Probably TIE bomber, right? Because it was long.
Oh my. Those are,
What a reflection on a pane of glass in a spectral TIE
and
bomber.
it's spectral type. Yeah. Those are two very opposite ends of the spectrum.
TIE Defender. Oh, maybe it was a TIE Defender. I don't know.
Maybe.
God
Well,
provides
there we
best.
go. Now that
Could have been a
we've
TIE Interceptor.
hashed that out.
I think those have the pointed fins. Yeah, Togmodu said it made him sad when he saw the picture.
Oh, that's sad.
There were several people that were. Slippy was in here. Slippy was very eager to see the picture.
Oh, I'm sure he was. Oh, I'm sure he was. That is unsurprising.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it was. Yeah, there was a theory posted in the live discussion over there, so.
Oh, I think I did see a post from Slippy. I do like chess. Where'd you hear that from? Where'd you hear that? It is true, though.
Quite a bit of chess is played over in the Discord.
Oh, dude, we're always playing chess in Discord. Come join the Discord. We play chess every day.
You will almost every day find somebody playing chess. Somebody who will willingly take you up on a game.
Oh, you're right, Mateo. I did say it. I forgot I said that I did. I play in Discord every day, and I also play at home almost every day. So we've been playing on my fancy light-up chessboard this past week or so. So that's been fun.
Was this the smart board?
Yeah.
I need one of those.
Oh, dude. Chessboard's great. The chessboard's so good. Well,
Hello,
come hang out.
legit.
Hello, sorry.
That's alright. Yeah, Toad Modu found us in a voice chat. You'll see people in one of those voice chats all the time. Hello, 8-bit legit. Can I your age for TikTok TOS? 8-bit legit. Maybe didn't mean to hit the request button. I probably could have done better than that. It was kind of weak.
I don't know how to work my fucking mute button apparently. Oh yeah, at least you didn't auction them.
I could auction them. It's been a while since I did that. I need to get the quick auctioneer speak down.
Oh my god, can you imagine? Can you guys imagine like Thrayle like an auctioneer voice?
You gotta do like the hamda in between. Like you just gotta like fill up.
I don't know why
Words
I'm like picturing or
fast.
like imagining this, but like I'm imagining like a 1920s reporter, but auctioneering, but you.
It'd be bad. It'd be way worse. Way worse than that.
Did you or have you talked to, or is that a ghost?
Oh, I'm sure they're still there, and it's been 3 days in a row. I'm just not sure
A
I'm
little burnt
ready to
out?
go there. I'm not sure I'm ready to go there right now. They can stay in the
That
queue,
is.
and I might bring them up. I'm thinking about it. I'm actively thinking about it.
They are eager.
I think they can question. I just. I think there's certain things they aren't questioning, and I'm curious to know if they are, and if a day has really been enough.
Well, from what I understand, they were. I mean, like I know I went at it pretty hard last night with them, and then from what I understand, they came up again and got it pretty hard from somebody else. So.
Yeah. Are you
One
curious for an
person.
update then?
I don't know because I don't know if I'm as interested in like if like I don't know how I guess maybe if like the things I thought about were topics that we talked about, but I know probably the general direction the other conversation went in more, and I'm not as interested in that. I don't really care if they're questioning the Bible. I care if they're questioning their certainty on all of it. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, but both times I've talked to this person, what I've gotten hung up on is how and why they determined that their interpretations of these things were true and why they were so sure about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, that was the sticking point for me, at least. And I don't know if we've had, I'm kind of with you on that. I don't know if we've had enough time to like really let that sink in.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, how are you?
You know, I can
Good.
really
How are you all doing?
appreciate. Good. You're patient and you're a good sport, and I can really appreciate that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate you all as well.
So why did you request up again? Do you have
That's a good
something new?
question. So, yesterday, Thrayle said he was excited to discuss Paul's letters. And so I did research into that, prayed about it, looked into it, see what everybody had to say and what the suspicion was, and I did my due research.
There's another creator that is on this app. Oh, I was just sorry. I was going to make a recommendation if we're looking into Paul.
No, you should definitely finish that recommendation. Go ahead.
There's another creator on this app. His name is Christ Before Jesus. He wrote a book about this actually, and he does lives every weekday, I believe, in the morning. And he talks a lot, like there's a lot about Paul and Jesus and the historicity of them. And are you familiar with stylometry?
This is the first time I've heard that term, actually. Let me look it up, or you could tell me what it means.
I can tell you. Stylometry it's basically like a forensic study of like the writing, right? Like a writing style, right? So we can look at writings and see if, and take. So let's say we took something written by Thrayle, right? We have 5 writings in front of us, and Thrayle has written 4 of them, and I wrote 1. Somebody who is an expert in stylometry could look at these 5 and determine which one that Thrayle didn't write by looking at the writing style, right?
Yes.
So Christ Before Jesus, Jaron, did this with like Paul's letters and basically and came to some really interesting conclusions about the historicity of Paul and Jesus. And I think that his life would probably have a lot of the information that you were looking for when you were like reading Paul's letters and looking into that today too.
I appreciate that information, and if I do see that this person does lives.
Yeah, he does lives. He'll be live in sometime in the next
hours.
4 hours or so.
Okay. I would
Monday
be happy to look into it if I see them.
Here, I will give you a follow, and I will try to remember to share it with you when I see it on. But I'm not always
to do the whole raid thing, but if I end late enough, I'll Christ Before Jesus today. I'll remember.
Yeah, and the in the chat, there's a guy that put it in the chat. He wrote a book that is called Christ Before Jesus, and yeah.
You said it starts like 4 hours from now? Usually?
Yeah. Well, 3.5, I think.
Okay.
Either 3.5 or 4.5.
Okay.
Another one of our mods is a mod there too, and she will know for sure when she wakes up and pops in, because I'm sure she will. But
in the next hour or so. But yeah, he would have a very different take. He's going to want evidence for Paul's existence, even, which I think will be a very interesting way for you to approach this. Your due diligence in the last 24 hours. And what is it that you found?
So, to be honest with everybody, when I read the Bible, I read like all of Paul's letters as like one giant thing. And so when certain people have done a deep dive, like what Kat was talking about, and when they did the deep dive, they noticed that in certain letters he's using different vocabulary, he's talking about different things, because
just for the sake of the listeners, there's about 13 letters, and they say that 7 of these letters are consistent with that. He brings up big picture stuff. He addresses the congregations. He has like a theme that he addresses all sorts of stuff. Very big picture.
Mm.
And then 6 of the letters are about all sorts of different things, because in 2 of the letters he's writing to like his apprentice, and in the other letters it just doesn't fit the theme, so they're suspicious. So what I think is there's a few different possibilities, if I'm being fair, which is that it could possibly be that it's a forgery. The other theory that they came up with is that those other letters were written at a different time where there was new vocabulary being used amongst the Christian community. And the third option is that he has the ability to switch gears based on the audience. If you wish to hear.
So you're saying, if I'm understanding correctly, that for 7 letters, various churches, he writes fairly consistently, in a fairly formal tongue, a very standard way of writing amongst these 7 letters, like it's one person. And then for 6 of these letters, he's writing in a way that you're saying is like code switching.
Well, and he even says this about himself, if I can quote a scripture and do an allegory.
Quote which scripture?
So there's a scripture where he says he has the ability to be a chameleon, and he chooses chameleon abilities to blend in with different groups. He says, like, for the Jews, I present myself as a Jew. Oh, this is 1 Corinthians 9. Specifically verses 19 through 22.
So 1 Corinthians 9, you're saying in there, he presents himself as a chameleon.
Yes, he seems to... I'm sorry, go ahead.
By saying that he can blend in with different crowds.
Yes, he seems to say that if he, for example, were to play Dungeons and Dragons, that he would put in a lot of stats in order to communicate so efficiently that he's blending into the cultures that he's interacting with.
Which verse in 9 did you say it was?
19 through 22.
For though I am free from all men, I have made myself a slave to all, that I might with the Jews I became as a Jew, in order to win Jews. To those under the law I became as one under the law, though not being myself under the law, that I might win those under the law. To those the law outside the law, I became as one outside the law, not being without law toward God, but under the law of Christ, that I might win those outside the law. To the weak I became weak, that I might win the weak. I have become all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. I do it all for the sake of the gospel, that I may share in its blessings. So you're saying that this verse explains why he might write differently in some of the other letters. Why his
Yes.
language, his syntax, why the way he writes, even some of the messages might be
Weren't all the letters to the church?
contrasting.
You're asking about Paul's letters, Kat?
Yeah, weren't they all to the church? Sorry, or churches, right?
Well, 2 of them were sent to his apprentice, Timothy.
But the rest were churches.
I believe so.
So his audience was the same.
They're different countries. Like some were to the Italians, some are to Greeks.
Believe that Jesus Christ was the Messiah. Like they're all Christian.
For like a Dungeons and Dragons example, imagine that there's dwarves that are Christians, there's elves that are Christians. So he's saying like I present myself dwarvish to the dwarves and elvish to the elves that are Christians. But yes,
I don't think that's what he said though.
I think it is.
To me, there's a difference between
No,
I
that's not what he's
present my
saying. He's
right.
not saying he's. Sorry, go ahead, Kat.
No. You probably could be more articulate about the same thing that I'm trying to get across.
Well, he's not saying that he's presenting himself differently to different Christian groups. He's saying he's presenting himself differently to all of these outside groups in order to save their souls. So if he's talking to Christian groups, why would he be changing his syntax, his coding? Why would he be switching his language from, or not just his language, his style of communication from one Christian group to another?
My answer is because there were some that were Judaistic Jewish Christians and there were the Gentile Christians, and they had different cultures. So when he was around the Gentile Christians,
Can you tell me which of those churches were which? And how that might change the letters between some of the ones in the same. I'm pretty sure some of the ones written to the same recipients change language, or do they not?
So
of the 6, do you remember which 6 they were?
The 6 that are questionable?
Uh-huh.
Yes. So there's Colossians and Ephesians, which the suspicious thing about that is how much just into the cosmic Christology it is. With the, I believe it's Titus.
How much you were depending on it for your cosmic Christology?
No, it's the fact. Remember how I talked about big picture stuff, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, how Paul's letters are usually big picture stuff. So what they find suspicious is the way that, like in 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, and Titus, how it just concentrates on hierarchical stuff, human hierarchies, which I also question because Jesus, from my understanding, was eliminating a lot of hierarchies to make it much more streamlined to directly going to the Heavenly Father. But yes, there are vocabulary that he uses in the 6 that is different than usual. That's also something else that's suspicious.
So specifically what I was speaking about would have been Thessalonians. I apologize, I mentioned Timothy, but both Timothys are in question. So 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, Ephesians, Colossians, and 2nd Thessalonians, right? So why would he change language from 1st to 2nd Thessalonians? Why would he begin writing in a different style or syntax? If the audience was the same.
I'm getting First Thessalonians right now. Why would he be using a different?
Yeah,
Well,
if you're saying that he's
so
code switching for his audience, if Timothy is so different from from some other recipient, why is he changing between Thessalonians 1 and 2? Why would Second Thessalonians be in question?
so there is possibly a time gap because the issue is that the way First Thessalonians is presented is that like everything is imminent, everything is urgent, and then Second Thessalonians has a different vibe where it's talking about like things that have to happen first and to be patient and to more like it's a marathon kind of thing. So First Thessalonians has more of like an imminent, urgent feeling, and Second Thessalonians is more of like a marathon kind of patient vibe to it. And some say that it's a time gap that he's addressing, that they were feeling this imminence and urgency, and he was trying to convince them, like, no, this is a marathon. It isn't like, something that's like today, I suppose. So he could have switched gears in order to, and then address the feedback.
You're saying he changed from First to Second Thessalonians because he received feedback?
It is possible. That's one of the
From
possibilities. Well, I believe that he was hearing what was going on in each congregation, and if we read Paul's letters, he usually addresses what's going on in their local community. Like if they're messing up, he addresses that. If they have a philosophy that he doesn't agree with, he addresses that. So he's very personal when he addresses all the congregations. I do not know how he received feedback, but he seems to imply that he was getting feedback from a lot of congregations somehow.
So you're saying the only real difference between First and Second Thessalonians is the eminence of the message, the how impending.
Well, to be honest, I didn't do a super deep dive on Second Thessalonians, but I know that
Have you read
was.
Second Thessalonians?
You said what?
Have you read Second Thessalonians?
Yes. Well, what I'm saying is that when I read Paul, because he said that he shifted, like I see him saying that he switches gears, so I wasn't suspicious of Paul's letters when I read them personally, but I understand where other people's suspicions are coming from when they do the deep dive.
You understand where the suspicions are coming from, but yet you didn't dive deeper into where the suspicions are coming from I mean, it seems to me like if your idea is that he's using a different voice for different audiences, why change between these audiences, or why change between the same audience And you're saying because he received feedback. But what indicates to you that he received feedback? And does the feedback mean that he would change the message of the Lord?
So for Second Thessalonians, I believe he's giving extra information about everything. So he
Is it
presents
extra information if it conflicts?
And that is a good point, because I do believe that Paul conflicts with Jesus at certain times. And so the question you're asking is, does he conflict with himself? That is a good question. You know, Paul talks about so many things and jumps around so many times, he may very well conflict with himself. I will have to think about that. But the vibe that I get from Thessalonians is that he's giving extra information.
Does it seem more likely that he is contradictory to himself and jumps around and speaks in different manners and changes the way he says things and does things, or just that it's different people? Like, what is the likelihood here?
I mean, I have to be open to both possibilities.
Like, what seems more, right? And if we were looking at another historical document and we saw the same things, what conclusion would you draw?
I suppose that I would be suspicious as to why he didn't just say everything he knew about the topic to begin with. But it could be that in the first letter, he felt like they were lacking urgency. Because he knows these congregations personally and what they need, right? So he might be like a supporter where he's writing letters based on what he feels like the congregations need at the time. So the thing is, with First Thessalonians, he might have felt that they needed urgency, so he sends them a letter about urgency. And then perhaps when he felt like they lacked big picture stuff, he wrote that Second Thessalonians based on their needs. Because I think certain congregations, he writes letters based on their needs, like to the Italians, to the Romans. He goes in this huge thing about
For you yourselves know well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. When people say there is peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them as travail comes upon a woman with child, and there will be no escape. That's from First Thessalonians 5. Second Thessalonians, right? Let no one deceive you in any way, for that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship, and he takes seat in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. So in one, it's like a thief in the night. Nobody knows how it's going to happen. We're all going to feel secure. In the other, it's now we know these are the steps that are going to be. This is going to be this and this and this. And is this the same author, really?
So you raise a great point. I think in the first letter he should have been like, there's lots of Old Testament prophecies about
You're saying
this.
what he should have been like, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't.
How do you know it's the same author?
I mean, I do not. I'm not certain that it is the same author. I can say that there's a lot of Old Testament prophecies about it.
You brought up yourself that Paul sort of contradicts Jesus a few times.
Yep.
Why would you believe anything Paul says if he's contradicting Jesus?
This is a good question because I have the ability to compartmentalize. So basically, let's say someone has good things about them and some, not so nice things. I can still appreciate somebody for the good things that they have. So I compartmentalize with Paul, to be honest. I
Do
compartmentalize
we
with everybody, I think.
compartmentalize out the misogyny, or do we leave that in?
I disagree with Paul on a lot of things, to be honest. And I would to this day, and if I
Good news,
teleported
a lot of
to
that
him, I would.
misogyny would be. A lot of that misogyny would be. Well, no, only some of it would be gone. About half of it would be gone if these 6 letters are forgeries.
Right, half the letters. Right. Half the misogyny goes with them. That's, I mean, I guess that could be reassuring.
Yeah, at least that's where you get the 1 Timothy 2:12. A woman should not be permitted to teach.
Yeah, you do know. That is the one I like to go to, and that yeah.
Yeah, I do not like his
would be gone.
perspective
That's
on
in
that.
dispute.
I would certainly
if there are
disagree.
forged letters, if part of the basis for which you form your theology is letters that are forged, then is that really a firm foundation for a theology?
Well, I'm looking for heavenly wisdom, so I can compartmentalize. So my point is, even if it is forged, maybe the forged writer has heavenly wisdom, and
So if you
I'm
picked
willing.
up a book that was translated from German and it had wisdom and you found it as heavenly wisdom, you just found it spiritual, you would compartmentalize the author was the the leader of the Third Reich. You wouldn't care about that if it had heavenly wisdom.
So I do have a that is a good question. I would say wisdom speaks for itself. I like to believe that I can compartmentalize, that I can give honor to wisdom itself.
Ouch. Do you really think it's wisdom?
Well, that's the thing.
Is it just wisdom because it agrees with your preconceived notions?
So the question I have to ask myself is, how does one measure how wise a saying is, or how wise something is? But I try to. I try to measure everything, like faith, peace, joy, wisdom. And so with Paul's letters, I think some of the things that are in there, whether they're forged or not, are very wise, like in Ephesians and Colossians, for example.
Wisdom.
I would say that wisdom is one should view things. It's perspective. I believe that wisdom is perspective. It also ties into truth.
Then why are we not saying perspective if they mean the same thing?
Because wisdom is a more complex word that includes a lot of things. It's like love. Love is a complex word. Wisdom is the same. It's a complex word. So, wisdom is like the perspective of what to do with knowledge, what you should do, and the truth and the quality, and yeah, it's philosophical.
Sounds like feelings, man.
That's not what I was expecting to hear.
Feelings. I think it has to do with idealism. Wisdom has to do with idealism.
What is idealism?
Idealism is seeking perfection.
So not philosophical idealism.
Idealism would be seeking perfection in every way, wouldn't it?
Is that what it means
So
to you? Seeking
Yeah,
ideals.
yes. Idealism to me is being perfect in as many ways as possible. And seeking perfect things as many as possible.
Are you saying that there is some attainable perfection?
Yes, and I do believe there's many ways to level up.
Sorry, what do you mean by perfection?
Getting better.
So you're not saying perfection, you're saying improvement.
You said movement?
Improvement.
Yeah, improvement, yes, in every way, both internally, externally, everything improving, yeah.
So perfection isn't an end result, it's a process.
It is a process that also has achievements that go with the process. Because Jesus said
because life is a video game.
Well, yeah, he's already decided that. Yeah, he thinks life is a video game. Or tabletop role playing, probably.
Well, I use that as an allegory to explain what it is like.
Why would it be like that?
Because there's so many ways to improve, and there's so many things that can be improved.
That doesn't explain why it would be idealistic the way that you have framed idealism.
Wouldn't improvement be ideal?
Is it?
I think so.
How are you
Is
measuring
it always
improvement?
Okay, so I think that improvement would always be ideal unless it was more ideal to like have a amazing lesson through like regression, I guess. That's like a plot twist. So idealism says whatever is most ideal should be the thing that is done.
Where are you getting this definition of idealism?
I suppose I've thought about it a lot and compared different philosophies of idealism, and that's how I came up with this.
I'm not sure I understand. Where are you getting the idea that this is idealism? That idealism is seeking perfection, and perfection is the process of improvement.
Oh, so I combined the definition with biblical philosophy and also my experiences, and all that combined together led me to this.
What experiences?
My experiences of viewing Earth, viewing how systems operate, the overall theme, the big picture.
Can you provide an example of an experience that informs you that things are idealistic?
So I believe in the concept of like you reap what you sow, or some would call it karma. I believe that's idealistic. That's something that I've noticed.
I'm sorry, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah.
In what way is that karma?
So the reason I would say that this concept pushes towards idealism is because when somebody does something and there is a system in place in which negative reinforcement or positive reinforcement usually happens, from what I've observed. And that would push people towards idealism because it would encourage them to improve.
You think that every